Hi there, it's Chris. This is my presentation for literature and arts. So for this project, the goal was to create a art piece that is based or inspired by literature. So it's to be inspired and not directly create imagery directly from the text. So for this project, I did mine based off of Dante Alighieri's Inferno. So here's my idea diagram, and I'll get into all the details after I show you the presentation. But mainly what I did want to say is that this is in a GIF format, which is something really different for me, and I thought was actually a really good way to um, modernize and kind of like do this interpretation. I chose this because GIF today is kind of a good example of like modern electronic forms of mass media and widespread news report kind of. Just because the original text of Inferno is kind of more of a political propaganda piece for the time. So I thought a really good modern way to do that was through something electronic. So I did do a video, but we'll get into that in a second. But for the actual source itself, Dante's Inferno is again about descent into hell. On the entrance to hell, you'll see a sign that says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." It's actually quite a famous quote for the entrance to hell. And we are going to be focusing on the ninth circle of hell, known for treason. This is the worst part of hell, basically, and this is where Satan resides. Here is also where you'll have nine different areas of the circle for different forms of treason. You have Cana, Antenora, Teloma, and Judeca, and we'll get into how those relate to my um, models in a second. But here is my animation, and there is actually no sound, so you guys are going to be a little just focusing on the video right now. Okay, so that was the video. So just to start breaking it down, again, it is called Ninth Circle, Texas. I chose to focus on Texas specifically because, again, with if you did know the text for the actual Inferno story, in the Ninth Circle, it's actually frozen over due to Satan's wings flapping so much. So that immediately brought me into the idea of the 2021 snowstorms we've been having here in Texas. So I decided to focus on all these people who have some relation to treason and who would be considered in each part of this area of hell. To start off, I have Andrea Yates, who falls under Cana. She falls under this area for her betrayal of family, where she did kill her five children back in 2011. But she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Here, this is more of a more political area, but I am just focusing on just the actual actions of this person. We have Ted Cruz, who falls under Antenora, which is the betrayal of homeland or political party. He is the Texas senator, and during the 2021 snowstorms, he was actually found leaving Texas to go to Mexico during the pandemic, while many Texans were still suffering. And then finally, we do have David Koresh, who falls under Telomia, which is the betrayal of Guess. It is a little bit of a stretch, but I still feel confident in this. He was the cult leader of the Branch Davidian sect down in Waco, and is actually one of the main people involved in the Waco siege back in 1993. But after the siege, he was found dead along with 80 other members in a mass suicide. Um, and I believe that is something very treacherous, so falls under this area. And just to show a little editing, I did do this process for all the images you saw. But basically, I did take one image, I applied three different editing effects on it. So there's the original. The second one shows me adding a wind effect on both sides of the images. The third was I misaligned copies of each other on top of each other to get that distortion effect. And then finally, I did create rectangular shapes on one image and then distorted them around to create the digital glitch there. But again, this is my presentation for my piece, Ninth Circle of Texas. Thank you all again for just watching and listening. And thanks.